Hello everybody, this is a 2010 Kia Soul. I call it the Booger. But anyway, I've installed HydrodroClub USA. I've installed their HHO kit, and I'll tell you a little bit what I did here. I ran everything into the relay. Instead of splicing into my wires or anything, I ran everything into my fuel pump relay. So when it turns on, everything else turns on. See, I even ran a wire out of my cab here into it, and then I also ran from the relay here that goes to my hydrogen cell. You can't really see my hydrogen cell. No, it's on down there, but you might can see part of it. But anyway, it's actually down inside there. So, in that little plastic area, so away from my engine, and makes for a better air circulation. I did install a good air intake and everything. Anyway, so it runs up here, both my lines, into my bubbler. My bubbler is just a little bit lower than my little filter here to make sure I don't get any the water into my engine, if it does happen to have any, but I'm not having any problems at all really with that. But a little moisture isn't going to hurt. But anyway, so it bubbles up and comes up through here and goes into my filter. The filter's a little higher than that. It has a mesh screen on here, so catch any of the moisture and put it down in the tube, and I can draw that off if I want to. So here comes my line, and then I have a one-way hose here to kind of help just in case I have a flashback. With the vacuum on it, and you know, with the HHO that I'm putting into it, I don't think I'm going to have any problems with flashback. I never had any problems before with flashback, and I haven't yet. So anyway, it goes in here and it goes into my PVC valve that's right here. I put a little T in there, and that goes into my motor, and that puts a really solid vacuum on my system, and that also lowers my amperage a little bit, my pull from it. So anyway, and I'll show you what I got going on here. But on the Kia Souls, all their wiring, they had this little rubber doodad, so I didn't have to drill any holes or splice into any wires or anything like that. Yeah, I just ran on my wires, you know, because if you got the digital ampermeter, you're going to have to run your wire from the low end, the negative, off your battery. You're going to have to run that in, and then onto a shunt, and then in your amp meter, and then run it back to your cell. But anyway, but you can just pull that little rubber dude out, and then run those wires in there, and just put it right back in, no problem. Okay, so here we are inside the cab. There's my digital amp reader, and all I did was drill just some small holes right underneath here, and then I run a couple of ties, wire ties, plastic wire ties, and then that holds it really solid in there. And then there's my Rolo right there. I just mounted it to a little wall over there that's close to my OB2 sensor, which is actually right behind my ammeter. My ammeter back there. Anyway, my OB2, and I spliced the wires in just like I'm supposed to, and I set everything up. Alright, now I'll show you the amp draw. So at cold startup, it looks about like 5 amps. It'll get up to about, when it warms up, it'll get up to about 8, 9. I've seen it most about 11 amps, you know, while I'm driving and stuff, once it's heated up. So that's what I'm putting in, and I'll show you it bubbling, just so that you know it is HHO going into it. And I went from 27.7 miles per gallon on average, and now I am getting 40 miles per gallon. That's not just a rounded up measure or anything like that. It was 40.041, so is what my average came out to. And I tested it on 80 miles, and that's just regular driving, highway, and a little bit of city driving. I can't get an accurate highway and city, you know, but that's just my average driving, just driving around. Kind of see all that bubbling going on in there. And that's it, cold. it'll produce about twice as much as what's coming out now once it warms up. But that's good enough for my car. Good enough, especially with running in that vacuum, that PVC valve. That's just good enough. Let me put that vacuum back on. There we go. And you can hear it pull again. It'll even back out. And it's good to go. Anyway, yep, from 27.7 miles per gallon to 40 miles per gallon in a 2010 Kia Soul with the HydrodroClub USA with their Volo sensor, digital amp meter, single unit, and all the wiring. Can't beat that. Can't beat that. That means that, with my driving, how much I drive, it'll pay for itself in about 6 months on the money that I'm saving with fuel prices being at $3.77 right now a gallon. Okay? Alright, thanks.